So what I have here is the Insta360 OneRS 1-Inch edition, and is this the best consumer 360 camera you can get? And is it actually that much better than the Insta360 X3? Let's find out. Now, when it comes to the OneRS 1-Inch edition, it has been on the market for some time now, so I'm only gonna touch the key features in today's video. So if you want to know the whole spec sheets, there is a link down below as well, which will run you through every single detail there is to know about this camera. So this video is mainly going to be about traveling with the OneRS 1-Inch edition, and to show you the quality that you can expect from this camera when you're out traveling, and I'm also going to compare it a little bit to the Insta360 X3. Now, compared to the X3, the OneRS 1-Inch sensor has two 1-inch sensors, one for each lens, where the X3 has two 1/2-inch sensors. The OneRS can also shoot videos in 6K up to 30 FPS, which is 0.3K higher than the X3. But what really puts them apart is the sensor. The 1-inch sensor on the OneRS is also co-engineered with Leica, which is well known for its quality when it comes to camera and optical lenses, which is why the quality is on the better end. However, the X3 might actually be the camera that gives you the most fun, whilst the OneRS 1-Inch edition is the camera that will give you that wow feeling, and something that you might want to prefer to use for more cinematic purposes, or if you just want to capture the world in 360 by staying out of water. The X3 does also have a bigger and more convenient 2.3-inch touchscreen, and is also waterproof down to 10 meters. It can also take 72 megapixel 360 photos, where the 1-inch can take 21 megapixels, and is also water resistant, which means you'll have to use a dive case. The X3 does also have more shooting modes like Me mode, Active HDR, 4K single lens mode, so you can actually get that regular action camera look if you want. However, both of these cameras have that invisible selfie stick and the amazing flow state stabilization with 360 horizon lock, so you'll be able to move the camera however you want and still keep the horizon level. As of time-lapse and other features, the 1-inch can shoot time-lapses up to 6K and the X3 up to 8K resolution. The X3 does also have bullet time, pre-recording, and as mentioned, active HDR, which is not to be found on the OneRS 1-inch model. But when it comes to traveling with these two cameras, there's only one thing that matters, because they do the same thing. Basically, they shoot in 360, and you can also get that regular action camera look if you want, despite shooting in 360. But what it comes down to really is image quality. So when it comes to the image quality coming from these two cameras, I do see a clear difference in the edges. The X3 has more grain to it, where the OneRS just looks sharper and is also more blurred out at the edges, which makes it more appealing to watch. So both cameras here are using the highest resolution, so 6K on the OneRS and 5.7K on the X3. There's also a bitrate set to high, and the sharpness is set to low and adjusted in post-production. But when it comes to bright conditions, there's not actually a huge difference between these two cameras. However, I do prefer the image coming from the 1-inch model, which is also to be expected since it's overall a better camera. Now, when it comes to deciding between each of these two cameras, it really comes down to how you plan on using a 360 camera now and in the future. So let's take me for example. I plan on taking the family on a vacation next year, and that means I will bring my two kids as well. So I know there's going to be a lot of water involved, and the trip will be more family based than cinematic. And since the X3 is also waterproof down to 10 meters, this would be my choice. But if I travel without the kids or just go on a trip with my wife, I can definitely definitely see myself using the 1-inch. The low light videos coming from this just looks amazing, and I don't mean like low light as in low light. This also looks amazing, by the way, but I mean scenarios where the light conditions are bad, like when we were hiking up the ridge line or through the forest. And since this is a huge part of my trips, the OneRS has definitely earned its place in my camera bag. Now, when it comes to price though, the 1-inch is almost twice as expensive as the X3, which is also something to consider. Is the quality differences big enough for you to spend another $400 on this camera? I mean, you do get the best of the best when it comes to consumer 360 cameras, and you'll most likely have this camera for years, and the chances for GoPro to push out a GoPro Max 2, which has a 1-inch sensor and better image quality than this, is pretty slim. I mean, just look at GoPro Hero 12. Of the 12 generations and some side projects like black, silver, and white, they still can't make a GoPro that works 100%. But the real question is, for $800, would it be better to get the X3 and the Go 3, for example, which gives you the best of both worlds, whether you travel or do activities with your family? But in my opinion, if you're looking for a 360 camera, the OneRS 1-inch model is not a bad choice at all. If you want the best of the best when you're out traveling, this is something I can highly recommend. It is on the more expensive side, like I said, $800, but this is going to be a long-term investment that will last you for years without having to consider every single product being released. If I knew how good it was by testing it myself, I would probably consider this over my first X3. So if you want to take it up a notch and get the better image quality, the OneRS 1-inch model is definitely a good choice. But like I said, you also have to consider your needs. So if you're that type of person that does a lot of family vacations, you have a couple of kids and those kids loves to drop in the drink and have a great time, and you want to capture that in 360, the X3 would probably be the right choice for you. But if you're more of that cinematic guy, you want to capture the best of the best, and you want a camera that is good in every single shooting environment, even in water, but you would need a dive case, well, the OneRS 1-inch model might be the right one for you. And I'm also curious to know which of these you prefer and which of these do you have? Do you have the OneRS 1-inch model? And if you do, what's the use cases for that? And if you do have the X3, what's the use cases for that? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you found any value in today's video, let me know by dropping a like down there as well. And if this is the first time that you check out my channel, don't forget to check out that subscribe button as well and hit that. That would be appreciated, and it helps me make these unsponsored and unpaid videos. So with that said, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.